I'm Sabrina Tachdjian. I'm with the Hedera Foundation. I'm a VP of FinTech and Payments, so I grow the ecosystem in the FinTech space. One of the bigger trends and the things that have kept me the busiest this year are stablecoins. So we're working very closely with issuers as well as with payment providers. And the other big theme, which also is kind of carried over from last year, is real-world asset tokenization. So again, working with issuers, working with distribution networks and such. So Hedera is a very foundational layer. Hedera is a decentralized ledger technology. So that's the blockchain network that is essentially the operating system for all digital assets. So you can use Hedera as a base to issue a stablecoin, to tokenize assets, put them on chain. And we've done this by adding additional toolkits, things like we have a Stablecoin Studio toolkit, which is a turnkey, pre-audited, open source toolkit to issue a stablecoin and manage it on chain. We've done that also for real-world assets. We have an Asset Tokenization Studio, similar concept, easy SDK to deploy. With that, we've also supporting integrations into issuers for digital assets, whether it's stablecoins, whether it's other types of assets like securities. So we provide the whole infrastructure, and we also plug into other elements of the ecosystem. I believe asset tokenization is transformational because we are in an era where we are used to having things instantly, right? We communicate instantly through email, through messaging. Assets are still a little bit stuck in a different era where your money doesn't really move instantly cross-border. There's still a lot of friction. Same thing for trading in, out of assets. So lack of liquidity, for example. Being able to make payments instantly, to do this at low cost, is something that I think a generation that grew up with the internet can really relate to. And of course, once you have the payment leg on chain, and then once you start having the asset leg also on chain, then you can have something magic, which is delivery versus payment. So you can actually have those things instantly. What I believe is as things are migrating on chain right now, you're still working the on and the off ramping and the redemption and such, but I think this is just a transitional phase. Eventually things that are on chain will mainly stay on chain, so you won't have that friction. Right now we're in a phase where you're still trying to make the systems fit, the existing legacy systems fit. There are multiple challenges actually. Some of it's just education, getting people and companies and institutions to adopt. Some of them are regulatory, lack of clarity in certain jurisdictions, but that's definitely changing right on both ends. There's more and more awareness, and there's more and more regulatory certainty. Areas like the UAE, for example, are really at the forefront in terms of adoption and in terms of regulators being actually pushing the digital asset ecosystem. And then lastly, technical. I mentioned earlier, integrating with legacy systems does require some work, and there's still a little bit of a gap to fill. Of course, that's changing. That's actually every year things get a little bit smoother and get a little bit more integrated. So I think we are very much at a place where we're like on the cusp of mass adoption, and definitely stablecoins have had a very, very good year where they went from really being a little bit more relegated to, say, trading use cases, to just maybe informal retail cross-border payment use cases, to being more and more adopted by small businesses and now larger businesses. And so we're getting to the point where it's not so niche anymore. Should learn to communicate to not just the Web3 crowd. And decentralization for the sake of decentralization, like maybe the average person is not going to understand that. What the average user cares about is their own experience They don't necessarily need to know that there's blockchain and there are digital assets in the background. So I think really communicating the value of digital assets in a way that is accessible and that's really just focused on what's in it for the user, as opposed to maybe more philosophical concepts that the average person's probably not going to care about. Your user experience, the complexity. There's still a barrier to using Web3 services because a wallet, self-custody can be intimidating. Could be also dangerous, right? If you don't know how to manage your private keys and such. And so I think we're seeing a whole, I would say we're seeing Web2 companies, when they adopt Web3 primitives, they actually know not to carry over the complexity that comes with Web3. And that's where I see this is a very combination. A lot of misconceptions. I think crypto, especially the word crypto, right? Like digital assets sounds a little bit more buttoned up, but when you say crypto, people think, oh, this is highly volatile. This is for money laundering. This is for criminals. That is, I think, a legacy from some of the early days where there was no regulation. It was very much the Wild West. Today, a vast majority of the flows, the crypto flows, are legitimate. Like 99% or more than 99% are legitimate flows. And so that's, I think, a misconception that the industry is in the process of shutting, but still has some way to go. I think the next years, so if I go to stablecoins, for example, right now we're still in a place where USD has the vast majority of the market share. Like 99.75%, I believe, of the stablecoins are USD denominated. I don't believe that that's going to be that way going forward. So I'm actually very bullish on non-USD denominated stablecoins, especially as more and more regions and countries are making an effort to put in regulatory frameworks in place. And I'm seeing this as I see more especially financial institutions looking into issuance with the backing of their local central bank. So I'm looking forward to more non-USD denominated stablecoins.